I led a busy life. Teaching, popular. I became a popular teacher. And popularity. And therefore, who cares about God then? Then my husband would say, all right, at least join in the family rosary. And you know what I said? Don't talk nonsense when your family rosary is a cure for insomnia. Suddenly, at 1 o'clock in the night, my husband said, Celine, don't move. And I looked up and I saw a bulb moving across like this. Who came across the wall? Who initiated all these happenings in my life? That she was there all the time, talking to me. The rosary is a weapon Satan dreads. I'm Celine, and I'm from Karnataka. My father died when I was 4 years old, and my mother was a widow, and I have no siblings. As I grew older, I went to St. Xavier's. There, I started studying chemistry as my principal subject. I got into all sorts of criminal ways of behaving. I'm so ashamed to even say this. I started drinking, I started drugs, I started flirting, and name it, I was doing all the rotten things that anybody does. St. Xavier's College in Bombay is next to an art college in the same vicinity. And there, for the first time, I saw my husband, very handsome, and he seemed to be a very good man. He used to take me out for lunch in the afternoons, and we got friendly. And then this man, who fell in love with me, I should say, took me and tried to teach me what God was. He was a very holy man, and he tried to teach me what God was. And somehow he persuaded me to carry on with my education. Became a double graduate, and I married my husband. We had 4 children. But the lifestyle that I took on was so busy. God was not there. I led a busy life. Teaching, popular. I became a popular teacher. And popularity, it just eats you and you become something superb. And therefore, who cares about God then? And what did I do? I didn't even bother about God. I went and started. I had to correct, I had to set papers, I had a lot of work to do. And my husband would say, come, let's go for Mass. I said, you go if you want, I'm not coming. Then my husband would say, all right, at least join in the family rosary. And you know what I said? Don't talk nonsense when your family rosary is a cure for insomnia. And I wouldn't say the rosary. And they would say the rosary, and I would carry on doing my work. One day, I was so angry with my husband. Over what I don't know. I was so annoyed with him. So I slept on the ground under an altar because there was no other place in the room. And the altar was made of glass. Suddenly, at 1 o'clock in the night, my husband said, Celine, don't move. And I looked up and I saw a bulb moving across like this. The altar fell on my head. It cracked my skull here. I was bleeding. And you know what? The strange thing was, when husband and wives fight, the children come near the mother. But nothing happened to them. My head was bleeding. And my husband said, he was so gentle. He said, you don't move. And he pressed my head down to stop the bleeding. And next morning, we had 3 stitches put there. But that night, when the altar fell on my head, I heard the voice in my mind, if I want to do something, you and your God can't stop me. And I recognized that those were the exact words I said to him during the fight. And God showed me that he could do something. My eyes did not get wounded. It was my skull. I didn't lose my sight. The Lord was merciful. Somehow that went on. If I want to do something, you and your God can't stop me. And I realized how powerful God was. And I said, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And that was what happened, the amazing incident that happened in my life. That I started going to church. I started saying the rosary with the family. On our road, we had the Vincentian Ashram open, where Father Joe Svetyankel was the leader. And he recruited me, this criminal, he recruited me into his team. And I would give talks and accompany him on missions, counseling people. But I never forgot my mother, who came across the wall, who initiated all these happenings in my life, that she was there all the time talking to me. But that was not all. I did not stay there. The Lord really lifted me up. From there, I was recruited, the parish team, and I was one of the chief persons in the parish. I joined this Catholic Charismatic Renewal. Where did I climb to? And one day Bishop Bosco Penna came and he said, 1 minute, I think you can be of use. And I said, I? Shocked. Yes, I am recruiting you to the FILMC, FILMC, Fellowship and Involvement of the Laity in the Mission of the Church. That was what it meant. And I was put in charge of the Chembur Ghatkopar Deanery. And then I said, okay, of course I was very happy about that, but I couldn't understand what God uses. He takes muck and makes a saint out of it. So mighty is our wonderful God. I was amazed at that, amazed. And then it was so beautiful that Mama Mary showed me that she did not desert me. Well, that was not the end. Satan still tried to attack. He still tried to stop. He doesn't give up easily. And what happened was, one day when I came home, I suddenly found I couldn't move. I had a stroke. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. And I was in hospital for some time. My wonderful husband looked after me very lovingly. Life was awful. When I got a little better, he used to take me into that Vincentian chapel in front of the Blessed Sacrament. He'd wheel me there, the wheelchair, he'd wheel me there, put pillows on my left side. My left side was paralyzed. He'd put pillows on my left side and I'd be tilted this way, but looking at the Blessed Sacrament. On the left hand, he would rotate a rosary, wrap a rosary around my left hand. I couldn't pray because I couldn't even think, but that rosary was there. I couldn't move. One day suddenly, this rosary fell off and landed on my lap. And believe it or not, with these 2 fingers, I picked it up. I couldn't use these fingers before, but that rosary I picked up with these two fingers. And from that day started my recovery. And guess the beautiful part of it, when my husband took me for a checkup to the neurologist, he was surprised. He said, I did not expect, she was such a bad case. I did not expect her to recover like this. What did you do? Medically, not possible. What did you do? And I said, I prayed. Of course, I don't know whether he believed it or not. I couldn't care less. Our Lady healed me. Our Lord touched me. And I was all right. And guess what? Not only all right, I restarted my work for the Lord. I was sent to Pune for training after that condition. And I did all the work for the parish, for the Catholic Charismatic Renewal, and also for the ashram. That was the state I was in. After my husband expired, it was a very holy life. I was by his bedside when he breathed his last. And I remember that prayer that I said, Jesus, take him out of this bed. Take him to you or heal him. And Jesus decided to take him. And it was such a beautiful moment for me. My husband's death was a beautiful moment. Why? Because he's gone to God. He's gone to his Maker whom he loved so much. He's gone to his mother Mary, whom he loved so much. He who taught me how to say the rosary has gone to his mother. He did not crush me. I felt actually relieved. And then my children told me, come to Australia, Mom. Daddy is no more there. Come and help us. So I came to Australia. And when I came to Australia, I stayed with my daughter in Moorabbin. And I started, doing a grandmother's job. But God did not halt. One day somebody took me to St. Peter's, Bentley, for a service. She knew that I was fond of services, so she took me. And after 2 days, they asked me, will you give us a talk? I don't know who told them I give talks, but anyway, will you give us a talk? And I gave. Even then, from the time Mother Mary came into my life, I'm not going to say that everything was been smooth sailing. There were times when I had problems. There were times when the children fell sick. The times when the children do well in their exams. When my body was not giving in. All these things were there. But one thing, I always looked and said, Mummy, and I felt as if a mother was embracing me. 3.5 years ago, I came to an aged care. And I said, now it will be a life of prayer and preparation to go home. But even in that life of prayer and preparation, you wouldn't believe it. God is using me. Here, in an aged care, there's a lady who's blind. She can't see. Who would read the Bible to her? Celine. There was a man by the name of Louis. He was a PhD in theology. He fell from the roof, broke his back, and was paralyzed. He couldn't read. He couldn't hold a book. So one of the carers told me, why don't you read to him? I came and read to him. And I would read to him, and what happened was, he got pneumonia and he died. And he told his family to give me the statue of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So that is how I got the statue of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And I thought to myself, Mama, I wanted to come there and join your convent, but I couldn't. You came to me. And now she, through her statue, is in my room, because every now and again I look at it and I say, Mommy, I call out to her with that. And I feel so nice and warm and tender. So Mama Mary helps you. Say the rosary. Don't give up. Hold on to it. You will never fail.
My name is Michael O'Neill and I'm the Miracle Hunter, and today we're talking about some of the miraculous images of the Virgin Mary from around the world. One of my favorite stories of the Virgin Mary, and it's kind of on the level of Our Lady of Guadalupe, who left that lasting image for St. Juan Diego. There's another image like this, and it's actually found in Colombia. There was a woman named Maria Mueces de Quiñones, and in the year 1754, she was walking amongst Las Lajas, or the flagstones, when she was caught in the snow in a rainstorm. She was running to a cave to seek protection from that rainstorm, and her daughter got there first. Now, her daughter was very sickly. She was deaf and mute, and all of a sudden she started exclaiming, "I hear the Virgin Mary." And sure enough, they ran away from that spot in fear. They ran to Itopiales, where they were from, and the townspeople came back with them. And when they did come back, they discovered an image of the Virgin Mary that was emblazoned on the cave wall where they were about to go in. And this is an image of the Virgin Mary. It looks like it's in Spanish style from the 17th century, and it has the mother and child with St. Dominic and St. Francis depicted in the same spot. And this may look like a painting at first, but scientists have actually cored into that image and found that the color goes 7 feet deep. And so no known scientific process can produce color in rock. This is considered a miracle locally and a miracle for the world that's been approved by the Catholic Church. And that was Our Lady of Las Lajas in Quidara Canyon in the year 1754.
Ten years of sharing the peace of Christ. Shalom World, God's own channel.